Hey there, history buffs. Today we're diving into a saga spanning almost 8 centuries, the Reconquista of Spain. This epic tale is filled with battles, cultural exchanges, and a blend of civilizations that shape the very fabric of modern Europe. Buckle up because we're covering 700 years in just about 8 minutes. Imagine compressing centuries of history into a thrilling, fast-paced narrative. Picture this, it's 711 CE. The Iberian Peninsula, a land we now call Spain, is enjoying life under Visigothic rule. The Visigoths, a Germanic tribe, have established their kingdom and are thriving. The Iberian Peninsula, a land we now call Spain, is enjoying life under Visigothic rule. The Visigoths have built a society with their own unique culture and traditions, blending Roman influences with their own. Suddenly a force sweeps in from across the Strait of Gibraltar. This force is unlike anything the Visigoths have seen before. These are the Moors, hailing from North Africa. They are a formidable force, bringing with them not just military might but also a rich cultural heritage. Led by the cunning Tariq ibn Ziyad, they conquer most of the Iberian Peninsula in a flash. Tariq, a brilliant military strategist, leads his troops with precision and determination. Like, seriously, they were quick. In a matter of years, the Moors have established their dominance over the region. The Moors weren't your average conquerors, though. These guys were sophisticated. They brought with them a wealth of knowledge in science, mathematics, and philosophy. They brought their vibrant culture, advanced knowledge, and groovy architecture. The cities of Al-Andalus became centers of learning and culture, attracting scholars from all over the world. Thus, Al-Andalus was born, a beacon of Islamic civilization in Europe. It became a melting pot of cultures, where Muslims, Christians, and Jews coexisted and thrived. They built stunning mosques and palaces, fostered intellectual pursuits, and created a society where different cultures mingled. The architecture of Al-Andalus, with its intricate designs and beautiful mosaics, is still admired today. For the next few centuries, Al-Andalus flourished. It became a hub of trade, culture, and learning, influencing the rest of Europe in countless ways. It wasn't all sunshine and roses, though. The region faced its share of conflicts and political turmoil. The seeds of resistance were already being sown. Christian kingdoms in the north were beginning to push back, setting the stage for centuries of conflict. Hold on to your hats because things are about to get interesting. The Reconquista is about to begin, and it will change the course of history forever. While the Moors were busy building fancy palaces in the south, with their intricate designs and lush gardens, a spark of resistance flickered in the rugged mountains of northern Spain. These mountains, with their harsh terrain and unforgiving weather, became the cradle of a burgeoning rebellion. The Battle of Covadonga, fought in 722 CE, was a pivotal moment in this resistance. It wasn't exactly a massive showdown, more like a skirmish in the grand scheme of things, but boy was it significant. This seemingly small victory had enormous implications. This is where a Visigothic nobleman named Pelagius, or Pelayo as the cool kids called him, stepped onto the scene. Pelayo, with his unyielding spirit and tactical acumen, became a beacon of hope. Legend has it that Pelayo and his ragtag band of warriors holed up in a cave, using the natural landscape to their advantage. They ambushed the pursuing Muslim army and sent them packing. This clever tactic turned the tide in their favor. Talk about a cave party. The victory, though small, was a huge morale booster for the Christians. It marked the beginning of the Reconquista, the long and winding road to reclaim the Iberian Peninsula. This was not just a battle, but the start of a centuries-long struggle. It marked the beginning of the Reconquista, the long and winding road to reclaim the Iberian Peninsula. This was not just a battle, but the start of a centuries-long struggle. Think of it as the ultimate game of capture the flag, but with, more swords and less sunscreen. The stakes were incredibly high, but with, more swords and less sunscreen, the stakes were incredibly high. The Reconquista would shape the future of Spain and its cultural landscape for generations to come. Fast forward a couple of centuries, and the Reconquista is in full swing. As the Christian kingdoms in the north grew stronger and more organized, they started pushing south, reclaiming territory bit by bit, inch by inch. Think of a slow-motion wave, steadily washing over the land, reclaiming it. Two kingdoms emerged as the big players in this Iberian power struggle. Castile, with its vast plains and warrior spirit, and Aragon, known for its seafaring prowess and strategic alliances. They were like the Taylor Swift and Beyoncé of medieval Spain, rivals, yes, but both forces to be reckoned with. These kingdoms weren't always best mates, though. They bickered, they battled fiercely, they even teamed up with Moorish rulers against each other occasionally. Hey, politics is complicated, even in the Middle Ages, isn't it? Section 4, El Cid, the OG Spanish hero. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite medieval Spanish hero, El Cid. Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, better known as El Cid, meaning the Lord, was basically a real-life action hero. He was a skilled warrior, a cunning strategist, and a master of diplomacy. El Cid was all about that mercenary life, fighting for both Christian and Muslim rulers, whoever offered the best deal. He even conquered the city of Valencia, ruling it independently for a time. The dude was a legend in his own time, and his exploits inspired countless poems and songs. El Cid's story perfectly captures the spirit of the Reconquista, a time of bravery, adventure, and let's face it, a healthy dose of opportunism. Section 5. A decisive clash at Tolosa. The year is 1212 and the Reconquista reaches a turning point at the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa. Imagine a vast plain, two massive armies clashing, the fate of the Iberian Peninsula hanging in the balance. Intense, right? On one side we have the Almohad Caliphate, the latest Muslim powerhouse to rule Al-Andalus. On the other, a coalition of Christian kings from Castile, Aragon, Navarre, and Portugal, all united against a common enemy. The battle raged for hours, a chaotic whirlwind of steel, blood, and shouts. But in the end, the Christian forces emerged victorious, delivering a crushing blow to the Almohad Caliphate. It was a turning point, shifting the balance of power decisively in favor of the Christian kingdoms. Section 6. The walls of Granada crumble. Fast forward to the 15th century, and the Reconquista is in its final act. This was a period marked by intense military campaigns, political maneuvering, and cultural shifts that would shape the future of Spain. The once mighty Al-Andalus has been reduced to a single kingdom, Granada. This last bastion of Muslim rule in Iberia stood resilient, surrounded by the encroaching Christian kingdoms. But even in its twilight, Granada was a center of art, culture, and learning. The Alhambra Palace, with its intricate architecture, stood as a testament to the sophisticated civilization that thrived here. Scholars and artists from across the world gathered in Granada, making it a beacon of knowledge and creativity. Enter Ferdinand of Aragon and Isabella of Castile, the ultimate power couple of medieval Spain. Their union was not just a marriage, but a strategic alliance that would change the course of history. In 1469, their marriage united the two most powerful kingdoms in Iberia. This unification brought together vast resources and military might, setting the stage for the final push against Granada. They were like the Jay-Z and Beyoncé of their time, except instead of dropping hit albums, they were conquering kingdoms. Their combined efforts and charisma made them a formidable force. In 1492, after a long and grueling siege, the walls of Granada finally crumbled. The city, which had withstood numerous attacks over the centuries, could no longer hold out against the relentless pressure. The last Muslim ruler, Boabdil, surrendered the keys to the city to Ferdinand and Isabella. This moment was both poignant and symbolic, marking the end of Muslim rule in Spain. It was the end of an era, marking the completion of the Reconquista and the emergence of a unified Spain. The fall of Granada signaled a new chapter in Spanish history, one that would lead to the age of exploration and the rise of Spain as a global power. Section 7. Legacy of a long struggle. The Reconquista wasn't just about land, though. It shaped the identity of Spain for centuries to come. It led to the spread of Christianity, the emergence of a powerful monarchy, and unfortunately the persecution of Jews and Muslims. The Reconquista also had a lasting impact on Spanish art, literature, and architecture. From epic poems about El Cid to the majestic Alhambra Palace in Granada, the legacy of this era is still visible today. So there you have it, the Reconquista of Spain in a nutshell. It was a complex and fascinating period of history, full of epic battles, political intrigue, and cultural exchange. And hey, we covered it all in less time than it takes to watch an episode of your favorite sitcom. Until next time, keep those history brains buzzing.